How's it going, guys? My name is David. You know, one of the things people always ask me on Instagram is how do I personally hear from God? So today, I'm going to give you my 3 tips on how you can hear God's voice, and I may even teach you a Hebrew word just to spice up the whole hearing from God thing. Oh, I am so pumped about today's video, so let's crank up the bumper. Well, if this is your first time on my channel, this is where I like to do 2-minute devotions every Tuesday that are designed to help you take the next practical step in your spiritual journey. So why don't you hit the subscribe button right here so that you never miss an episode. So you want to hear from God, right? Well, let's throw up 2 minutes and see if we can help you out. Did I say throw up? It's not like I'm gonna throw up 2 minutes, but I'll stick with it. What does it even mean to hear God's voice? I mean, throughout the Bible, you read that God thundered his majestic voice, or that the Lord thundered from heaven. But on the other hand, the Bible also says that God speaks in a small whisper. So is it thundering or is it whispering? I mean, if God's got so many different ways of speaking to us, how are we even supposed to know it's God when he says something? And if I'm honest, whenever I really need to hear God's voice, normally the only thing I hear is crickets. Sometimes if you want to hear something better, you have to put yourself in a place where you can hear it more clearly. And it's the same with God as well. So here are 3 things that you can do to help you hear from God today. The first is withdraw. You have to get away from all the noise in your life. See, God still speaks to us, but we've built all of these things like careers and schedules and programs and apps and devices that distract us from hearing the message that God's trying to send to us. Sorry. Hello. You got the wrong number. Yeah. Okay. With all these distractions, it's so easy for us to waste any spare moments we have, switching on the TV or getting online or seeing how many likes we have on a post. We don't kill time. Time kills us. So if you want to hear from God, then you have to withdraw. The second thing is to wait. Psalm 62 says, "My soul waits in silence," but we don't like to be patient. We don't like to wait for anything, do we? Author Dallas Willard says that we often don't hear God's voice because we do not in general want to hear it. Wow, that's worth repeating. We often don't hear God's voice because we do not in general want to hear it. Perhaps it's time we just stopped and waited for a minute so that we could focus on listening for God. And the third thing is to read the Word of God. As Rick Warren says, sometimes you have to stop listening for a voice and start looking for a verse in order to hear from God. But we have to do more than just read it. We also have to do what it says. In fact, the Hebrew word for hear is shema, which means to listen, but it also means to obey. It's like when I tell my daughters to clean their rooms. If they haven't done it when I get home from work, I will ask them, "Did you girls hear what I said?" Now, I'm asking them if they listened, but I'm also asking if they obeyed. So if you want to hear from God, you have to read his word, but do it as well. Put it into practice. So there are my 3 tips on how you can hear from God. Withdraw, wait, and read. And that brings us to the QOTD. How do you hear from God? Why don't you leave your tips in a comment down below? And if you'd like us to pray for you, why don't you mention that in a comment as well? And our 2-minute devotion family will pray that you hear from God today. If this video was helpful for you, why don't you hit that subscribe button right there? Feel free to share it on your social media accounts with all of your friends, and I will see you next Tuesday.